Good evening. Today I'm going to make a video with the subject People and Organizations, Principles and Practices in Global Context. Organization is a place where collection of people who have common goal to achieve for the purpose of sustainability of the business operation. So we can think about any of the business organization. Their main objective is to be in the business for a long term while generating profits or maximizing wealth for the shareholders. So their objective is to based on going concern. So they want to continue the business while they are making profits. So it's we call going concern concept. So in this scenario, ethical values, code of ethics, business values, internal control system, we will have to think about in a wider perspective. So this topic is also emphasizes on that. People means there are various people, so we will have to think about the various people. Okay, the various people come to work from different cultural values, so they may have different cultures as well. Their belief may change, their values or beliefs may change. Okay, but it's for the business top management objective or work is to make every staff brief of what is the corporate objective, corporate values, okay, ethical values, code of ethics and ethical values, ethical behavior, internal control system, how to handle, and the importance of internal control systems, and in case of any conflicts, how to resolve those conflicts. So this is the main part of top management. So the top management have the objective or have the duty to brief to every staff, okay, what is the overall objective of the corporate organization, sustainability, by enhancing the sustainability of the business organization, and common goal is to achieve the purpose of business operation. And people of any organizations have different interest with the overall achievement of success of the business operation. So people of any organizations have different interest. We call stakeholders, and their interest may change according to their stake, okay, according to the stake or interest of the business stake. That means their interest may change as per their the kind of stakeholders. Okay, people of organization, any organizations have different interest with the overall achievement of success of the business operation. The main interest group is shareholders, who have the primary objective is to get maximum return out of their investment they made within the business organization by way of return as dividend payment from the generated profits, or the increase in the share value of the entity from diversification through retained profits, with the belief that the management will utilize the funds for potential investments. maybe investment in the strategic business units which have the potential to generate profits with certain level of autonomy over a diversified business area which will enhance the profitability of the business through diversified business operation. So in this scenario, that means one business is successful. Say for example, one startup business such as Harry McMaster Institute, okay, an institute for professional education for management accounting, financial accounting, and various other professional requirement, maybe making videos to support the students to do their MBA assignments, okay, like that, okay. So in this situation, okay, if the Harry McMaster Institute is incorporated and under a private company, as a private company, and if they are successful, they are able to make profits, and those profits can be distributed to the shareholders or can be decided to use for diversification purpose. That means it's not distributed, the profits are generated still, but it's not distributed to the shareholders, but it's used for further diversification purposes. That means more investment, okay. That means the management believes that there are more viable locations or geographical locations where they can, okay, open similar institutes with the similar setups with the help of professional experts. That means lecturers, wider area over wider geographical location. SBU, strategic business unit, that means delegated power and delegation of autonomy. So the lecturers, they have given some autonomy, that means they have power to do their lectures and to manage the level of students, the number of students and their standards, and to keep the institute name to a standard, to the market expectation. So this is what SBUs, okay, that means every time the owner is not responsible, still the owner is responsible, but they know the way of delegation of power to strategic business units. That means they identify the true talents and they choose the true talents, and they delegate some of the talents to some of the powers to them, and they give the task to perform, and they expect and they will give the necessary support and training to start up the business and to progress with the level of standards in providing the business. That means providing the tuition or something, institute operation, and they will keep monitoring this one. So this is about dealing with the people, okay. That means new talents acquired and they have trained and they are going for a new location, new geographical location, and they are monitoring and they are, okay, they are managing the new strategic business units to perform as per the expectation. So this is as per people and organizations, how you can do or get things done from people and develop as business organizations. Say for example, one entrepreneurship, okay. Entrepreneurship means it depends on the owner's talent or competence. Say for example, me, Harry McMaster Institute, I believe on the skills and knowledge which I gained from CIMA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, and I have worked for several organizations. So I have gained some knowledge, experience, so which I am utilizing for making some preparing videos and doing classes for CIMA management, accounting students as well, ACCA students. So this kind of thing is, that means the proprietor, that means the person who have gained knowledge, proprietor, and competency and skills, okay, is now transferring the skills to his or her students. So that means acquired knowledge to be transferred. This is one way, people and organization, proprietorship. Okay, and the main business, that means the small business, SMEs, small and medium-sized organizations, they depend heavily on the proprietor's knowledge and expertise. And when after they move to the next level of business operation, that means the reporting will be strict. That means it's a little autocratic. That means there will be some business managers will come into place. Okay, so now the proprietor, okay, he will acquire business managers, maybe purchasing manager, human resource manager, and say health and safety. It depends as per the size of the business operation. So if it is a huge operation, and if he needs okay, purchasing, lot of purchasing, if he expects lot of purchasing to be done, he may acquire a purchasing manager who have the necessary skills, peoples and organization. Same thing, okay, he will acquire or he will recruit a person, safety, okay, HSSC, okay, health and safety officer, that means or executive or manager. That means again, if you think that there are safety things to be, okay, addressed in a proper manner, okay, that is his culture, his values, okay, he doesn't want to accept any kinds of accidents, okay, he is okay, in advance decision maker, so he want to have plans, okay, before it happens, and as per the plan he want to, okay, progress with the plan. So one of the main, okay, objective is to, okay, zero accidents, or okay, that means people are on safe, okay, safe grounds, okay, that means they have their roles, but they are working environment and their working practices should be always safe. If the proprietor or if the start of the founder of the business believes, okay, he may recruit again health and safety officer, purchasing officer. That means purchasing officer, if he thinks that recruiting a purchasing officer, that means he may have some knowledge in the standards of what he should purchase, standards and the price, okay, he may negotiate or something like that. And when it comes purchasing finance officer, okay, that means they are growing, the startup business is now started to grow, but growth is not the whole objective. That means the whole objective is not about growth, but we will have to manage the cash flows and the profitability of the business. That means profitability, say for example, you can increase the credit sales, okay, or something you can manage, okay, that means you will be able to increase, okay, by adding stocks or something like that, and more loans or something like that. But you may end up with insolvency, that means credit worthiness, okay, that means, so your cash flows should be managed, and so a proper knowledge person, that means a finance person is required. If the founder believes, a finance person, if he does not have the necessary skills in finance, he may think it may be worth to recruit a finance person who will give the necessary support to manage the cash flows as well, the aspects of growth perspective, and where he can invest and what are the industries which are worthwhile and how the profitability can be analyzed through various ratios, and what are the ideas, or what are the ideas from the ratio analysis or other performance appraisal methods. So this kind of thinking is about people and organizations. So the main interest group is shareholders, who have the primary objective is to get maximum return out of their investment they made within the business organization by way of return as dividend payment from the generated profits. So any of the shareholders, they are very much interested about getting more returns. That means more dividend payment, dividend growth, generated profits, or the increase in the share value of the entity from diversification through retained profits. That means even if the management decides not to distribute the generated profits, they will hold those profits for further diversification purposes. That means if the management is very talented in choosing the right products, alternative investments, that investments are worthwhile, that means again those chosen investments will further add up the value of the business. That means further the business value increases, so the share value again increases. So there is no necessity for the management to distribute. They can distribute or they can retain with them, but retain profits also, if they have the necessary skills to choose what are the investments to be undertaken and what are the risk, to which extent of risk they can undertake, then they will be very successful, and people start to, that means potential investors will start to invest in those kinds of shares, or the increase in share value of the entity from diversification through retained profits, with the belief that the management will utilize the funds for potential investments, maybe investments in the strategic business units which have the potential to generate profits with certain level of autonomy over a diversified business area, which will enhance the profitability of the business through diversified business operation. And shareholders have growth expectations about the scale of operation and the growth level in the profits of the business operation as per the industry and prevailing market conditions of growth perspective. Also, it depends on the skills and expertise based on the management, who represent themselves as agents of the business operations, who takes the responsibility of maximizing the profits through the sustainability of the business operation by managing the risk and return of the investment portfolios they undertake on behalf of the business operation. So management have certain objectives as agents to the shareholders. So who is the owner of the business organization, business entities? The shareholders are the owners of the business organization. So management means they act as agents. They take remuneration. Even directors have paid remuneration, but their remuneration should be disclosed in the financial statements, because they are the people who have the decision making power, so they can decide to pay them more. So it should be disclosed in the financial statements. So to the biasness, they can bias towards themselves. So in order to understand the transparency of the financial statements, you should disclose. That's fine. You can make payment to your own efforts, that's fine, but you should disclose how much you have paid for your own efforts. So the user of the financial statements, that means the potential shareholders, now will look at your remuneration level, and they can come to a decision whether you are doing a good job in return for your remuneration package and privileges, other mobile benefits, vehicle allowance or something like that, fuel allowance or something like that, perks, okay, other privileges and perks. So this is one of the scenario, and management is act as agents. This is one remuneration, they take remuneration, and in return they have the responsibility to safeguard the assets of the business or entity. Safeguarding. So to safeguard the business assets, they will have to put a proper internal control system. That means internal control system means assets should be indexed, assets should be, okay, if there is a valuation or something, it should be valued time to time to reflect the market value, and if there is any goodwill impairment or something, they will have to take it into consideration for accounting perspects. So something like that, goodwill, so any other assets, okay, that means impairment losses or gain, okay, that means if there is a value, okay, so that means it should reflect, the financial statement should reflect the true value, okay, of the assets, market value of the assets. So that is the basic idea. So in this occasion, management are agents of the organization, so they are representing the shareholders, so they are taking remuneration, it is there, and they should set up internal control system, and they have the responsibility for corporate governance, that means governing the entity. So there are two types of management, one is executive directors and other one is non-executive directors. That means they have the decision making power, executive directors, but non-executive directors, they doesn't have the decision making power, but they are also on the chair, that means on the board, and they have the duty to challenge this executive decision making process. That means they can argue, okay, what criteria the decision is based on for decision making purposes, okay. Some of the times there are several alternatives for investment opportunities, and the management chooses one particular investment opportunity. So on what criteria the non-executive directors can argue on what criteria they have chosen the project rather than the other best alternative or something, okay. Why? Because it's about your investment appraisal, that means your skills on forecasting as well your skills on the particular industry expectations about the upcoming trends or something like that about the industry, and where you are there, that your industry, and what about the industry expectations, okay, is there is any stability or instability in the future, and uncertainties prevailing. If there is any uncertainty, what kind of measures you have taken, why you are going for a massive investment at uncertain time. Some of the companies, even in uncertain times, they go for massive investments, okay, because their strategies may differ. Every company's strategies may differ, but that is risk perspective, okay. Some directors may be risk averse, that means they don't want to take risk projects, they don't want to take risk, they try to minimize the risk, so the returns the shareholders can expect also minimize returns, that means minimum level of returns. But the risk seekers, that means they are willing to take maximum level of risk, that means if they are succeeded, the level of returns also very high. So in return, the shareholders can enjoy the return, that means the profit, the massive profits, okay. So it depends on the management. So it's about people and organization, the top management, how it represent and how it's successful on their decision making process, and how they can, okay, uh, support support to the shareholders in maximizing the wealth of the organization. Okay, so it depends on the expertise and knowledge they have gained in the past, okay, for the executive directors, as well the non-executive directors also. They may be the retired directors or something, executive directors for other organization, but now they may be, okay, they decided not to take the role as executive, but they will be acting as a non-executive director, or because executive directors means you have so much of responsibilities. That means you have the decision making power, but you are answerable, responsibility and authority. So you are answerable. So it's very, that means they have the responsibility to answer. That means they have the responsibility to for sustainability of the organization, corporate governance. That means establishing internal control system, and corporate governance in the sense that means safeguarding assets and ethical dilemmas, that means ethical values, and any other sustainability. That means you can't take above average of a risk level, okay, which the shareholders perspective. Say for example, if the shareholders may be 50% or 60% of a share is by a particular group, okay, if they doesn't want to take a certain level of above level of risk, that means you, even if you are a risk seeker, you can't do that, because your main group of the shareholder is not that same blood or same culture. So keep in these things, okay. So that is one. So SBUs which have the potential to generate profits with certain level of autonomy or a diversified business area, which will enhance the profitability of the business through diversified business operations. Now, shareholders have growth expectations about scale of operation and the growth level in the profits of the business operation as per the industry and prevailing market conditions of growth perspective. Also, it depends on the skills and expertise based on the management who represent themselves as agents of the business operation, who takes the responsibility of maximizing the profits through the sustainability of the business operation by managing the risk and return of the investment portfolios they undertake on behalf of the business operation. So again, it depends on the management's risk and return appetite, okay, risk appetite, okay. So but it depends for a certain limits, okay, and after that again shareholders influence may be there, okay. There may be AGM, okay, annual general meeting, and on that, okay, the shareholders have this right to change the directors of the organization. So they won't take that much of risk, okay, but they try to balance, okay. So that is one. And management plays a major or vital role in setting the cultural values and internal control system, and have the responsibility towards safeguarding the assets and goodwill of the entity. Say for example, if the general public or the economic professional, okay, that expert skillful people, okay, the media or the personnel with the background of economic knowledge, if they don't believe on the organization, the goodwill, it will dramatically impact on the goodwill. That means the image of the business, okay. If say for example, the management may think that they are taking a good decision making or a good decision for a diversified operation or something, but it may not be very suitable for that particular occasion due to a time, uh, that means situational background, or that means maybe inflation is going to happen, or inflation is already in place which is not addressed properly, which is not yet come under control, and which is not identified with the factors, to the genuine factors. So if you have identified, or if you have a certain knowledge about the ongoing inflation or something, you can control, or you can you can act on that particular inflationary effects. But if you doesn't know how the inflationary account, that means the size of the operation, okay, if it is very high, okay, that means you are not a major player on that particular business economy, business market, okay, then some of the time the other people may think that you are putting your feet which is not acceptable, okay, that means you are extending your, or you are diversifying to an area which is not advisable. In these occasions, your goodwill impacts. That means they start to write on their media, and it impacts on the value of the business. So people also start to believe on those kinds of uh, views. So it have the impacts to drop down on share value. If others also too start to believe, yeah, that means the decision making may be wrong, okay, that means the overall business confidence on this particular top management is not supported. In that occasion, goodwill is subject to be damaged, okay, or subject to that means detrimental effects, okay. So that is one. And if you look at the employees, there are different kinds of employees who works for the organization. Some of the employees are motivated by financial factors, whereas some other employees are loyal to the leader and the organizational culture. So in this occasion, some of the motivating factors, if you like, financial and non-financial factors. Some of the employees, they look for the work environment, and some of the employees, they prefer their boss, that means the leader of the organization, that means he is a very nice and nice gentleman, and he have the ability to uh, motivate, and he have the necessary leadership skills to delegate and support perspective. Support, okay, supporting role. Delegate, that means he will give some decision making power, and he will interact with you on the decision making process, and participative leadership, participative decision making, and he will give the necessary support if you are in trouble. That means if there is a occasion, if there is a necessity for you to overcome those kind of difficulties. So this kind of leaders people believe. So even on difficult times, they work with the leader rather than resign and go. And whereas some of the people, they believe financial factors, so they purely look for remuneration, salary and other perks, benefits like mobile benefits, vehicle allowance, and any other encashment of these shares or something, some benefits like that, okay. So so people may differ, okay. So employees, there are different kinds of employees who works for the organization. Some of the employees are motivated by financial factors, whereas some other employees are loyal to the leader and the organizational culture. Investment on learning and development of the employees most of the time makes the employees happy, because training and workshops makes them to understand their overall role, and it enables to contribute towards team efforts and cultural values and internal control system. That means if you try to invest more and more on your people, the workforce, okay, you are enhancing the learning perspective, learning through workshops, seminars, like that, different kinds of learning. If you enable, that means now their knowledge, they are sharpening their knowledge and they are learning. Okay, so by learning, now they are very comfortable with the working environment, what they should do, what they should do, what they should perform. They have now have real understanding and their role of the overall objective. That means the overall work, WBS, work breakdown structure. Okay, the overall work is divided in among different employees. So what is the contribution from them? If they understand, they will nicely contribute what the management expects from them. So that means they may not override with others. Okay, it is a teamwork. That means while they are allowing for the other employees to work, okay, safe and supportive, they also work, which is called teamwork. Okay, so training and workshops. Okay, so employees, there are different kinds of employees who works for the organization. Some of the employees are motivated by financial factors, whereas some employees are loyal to the leader and the organization culture. Investment on learning and development of the employees most of the time makes the employees happy, because training and workshops makes them to understand their overall role and it enables to contribute towards team efforts and cultural values and internal control system. So if you train them well, so they know now, okay, what is the expectation. That means teamwork. Okay, this is the overall work breakdown structure, this is the overall objective of the organization, and this is work breakdown structure. This is divided into, subdivided into different individuals, and what is expected from my side, that means me personally, what I should contribute, and what are the internal controls enforced by the organization top management, and how I can comply with those internal control systems and values. If there is any ethical values in times of conflicts, how I should behave, like that. So training which makes persons to comfort zone. That means it gives more knowledge by attending workshops and seminars, and it gives clear ideas and understanding. So it helps them a comfortable zone. So vendors, if you go for a vendors, suppliers at local and international level, operation will be much interested towards working with a long-term working environment with various objectives such as minimizing the CO2 emission level by way of improved fleet of transportation, and with the common objective of minimizing the level of inventory by improving the efficiency and effectiveness of business operation with the overall use of infrastructure of the information technology for effective communication. So now if you look at the vendors, okay, that means business to business, B2B. Business to business, that means you are also in business, they are also in business, and while working with you as a network organization, intra network, okay, intra-network or something, that means the suppliers, they want to know how much will be the work will be requested from them. That means you may have a size of business operation, you may have a scale of business operation. From that, as a partner, that suppliers, you will delegate or you will divide your business opportunities among them. Only you won't rarely, okay, you will rarely rely on one sole supplier, but most of the time business organizations, at least they prefer to have two or three. While why, if there is a sole supplier or something, then their negotiation power is a little bit under question mark. Okay, that means it's under risk. Okay, that means if you are only choosing one particular sole supplier, sole vendor, then they may start demanding more, okay, for their finished goods or other components. So what's the problem with that is, to minimize the negotiation level, you may have two or three vendors. Okay, in this occasion, two or three vendors, that means they also know now that you have two or three people to satisfy your overall size of the business operation. Okay, they will also express their interest to work with you. So that means negotiation power comes down. But the thing is, on the other way, if you have a sole supplier with a good understanding, okay, over a long-term business relationship, that means they have a mutual understanding and they know the values of win-win situation. That means if you win, they definitely know that business opportunities will be shared with them. So they will be the provider for those components or the finished goods. So in those kinds of business related people, if you have as a partner, that is, it's a different story. So it depends on the business partner, vendor as vendors, okay. So it depends on how you are going to minimize your negotiation level of your suppliers, something like that. It depends on the cultural values of the vendor. That means while working with the vendor, you know how they are culturally fit, okay, on difficult times, how they have behaved, are they supportive, what kind of supportive measures they have extended, okay. And so by working with them, you also can understand. So it depends on practice of understanding with each other, B2B. So most of the time, your business opportunities, the overall business opportunities, you have a clear idea what are the opportunities available and what makes sense. And from that available, if the supplier have the capacity, okay, the potential to deliver the whole things, okay, you may hand over every task to them. Or if you feel they are not have the capacity to satisfy your demand level, you may share with two or three vendors. It may also happen. It depends on the vendor size also. Even if you prefer to get the things done from a particular vendor, but if they doesn't have the capacity, or if they doesn't have the capacity to grow, maybe their investment potential, their financial potential, so people and organizations, okay, then you will start dividing the task, okay, the getting the components from various suppliers. But if you have a proper, reliable, trustworthy vendor who have a work relationship with over a period decades of time, and who have a extensive helping mind or helping attitude, or that means working attitude, and very culturally fit, then you may only have few, one or two, okay. It depends. So again, vendor suppliers at local and international level operation will be much interested towards working with the long term, so they will also prefer to get the business for long term. Today, okay, you give some business, and tomorrow if you go for a next vendor, another vendor, they had some trust and they have invested based on your business opportunities, and now you are not going to get the, you are not giving any business opportunities. That means what they have invested on machinery or what they have hired for people to fulfill your requirement will be, they will be under trouble. So it's reasonable on a ethical perspective, think from that side also, think from your vendor's perspective also, and how you can manage, okay, vendors troubles also. That means vendor, don't try to avoid to put the vendor into a difficult time or difficult situation. So that is vendors, suppliers, and suppliers at local and international level operation will be much interested towards working with a long-term working arrangement with various objectives such as minimizing the CO2 emission level by way of improved fleet of transportation. Now everyone are talking about minimizing the level of pollution to the environment, CO2 emission level. That means every time when we are running the mileage by fleet of vehicles, we are releasing the carbon waste to the environment. So we will have to minimize the level of waste, or we will have to take measures by forest harvesting or whatever kinds of things. Okay, we will have to grow some forest or measures, or we will have to invest as a donation. Okay, forest, there may be some organizations who are, okay, go green policy or something. So we will have to give some support, financial help, okay, to make them to go with the go green policy. So that is also one thing possible. So such as minimizing CO2 emission level by way of improved fleet of transportation. That means shared vehicle, shared transportation, and geographical locations more linked. So that means locations, the more suitable transportation will be selected rather than cargo or fleet of transportations, maybe vehicles, okay, fleet of vehicles, okay, containers or whatever, okay, most suitable, okay. Say for example, if it is a small van is much relatively okay or relatively good for a particular transportation purpose. If you are going to arrange a fleet of container or something, that means the capacity utilization is not there. So in that occasion, if it is a van, use that van, okay, that means low emission level. And this one, okay, that means low efficient, low emission, low CO2 waste to the environment. So like that. And every time you don't want to run, okay, plan it and plan your routes, okay, and try to minimize the waste to the environment and maximize the capacity utilization. Plan your routes and plan accordingly, and try to, okay, work with other vendors also. If you are also in the transportation, some others also, share your assets with them also, your capacity and with them every time, but try to do for full capacity utilization. That makes sense, okay, for efficiency improvement and effectiveness. So fleet of transportation, and with the common objective of minimizing the level of inventory also. That means some of the times, not some of the time, most of the times now people doesn't want to build stocks. Why? Inventory is subject to obsolete. That means can expire. After certain days, it may expire. That means building stocks is not. Why? Again, the financial, that means we will have to build. If we want to build stocks, that means we are investing money into building inventory. That means we are wasting our money. It means building inventory means we are taking a loan, or we are putting our own finance, and we are using that finance to build stocks. But there is no customer to purchase that. There is no ready demand for that. So now the environment is totally changed, the business environment is totally changed, and from at the time or second of the receipt of order, you start everything. Okay, you start progress with your order, and it will be sent to your uh, business suppliers, and they will, from the locations, okay, they will get it from the intra-network or something. They will get your order and they will supply fast, and from that you will dismantle and you will start doing your own works if there is any, and you will do the finishing job, and there will be some assembling place or something, and you will do the this thing. So this is for the automobile industry, it's there. So that means inventory minimizing is a very relevant and relative topic nowadays. So effectiveness, so minimizing the level of inventory by improving the efficiency and effectiveness of business operation with the overall use of infrastructure of the information technology for effective communication. So in that situation, not only you, your suppliers, your customers, everyone should be connected with, and they also have to have the same technological infrastructure. That means your business customers also linked with you. It should be compatible with your information technology what you are using. But firewall system to protect, there is a wall, okay, that means access will be detected from unauthorized access or something. So firewall system, but the technology is both of them are using is the same. So that means it should be compatible. So that means operation with the overall use of infrastructure of the information technology for effective communication. And customers, international customers may be from various backgrounds, and they have wide range of choices from the global context, but once they believe as the best solution or service provider, then they become loyal to the business relationship and will expect the ethical values to resolve ethical dilemmas. Okay, so in this situation, what you mean by customers means it's about international customers, will be from various backgrounds, and they have the range of choices. They have international customers, so they have the choices at international level, global market, international global context, but once they believe as the best solution or service provider, okay, they may if they think that you will be the best for providing the solution, or if you are the best service provider or best product designer or something, if they start to believe, then they loyal to the business relationship, then they become loyal to the business relationship. That means now they will have to work with you, so they will become loyal. Until then they have more choices and they have more power, but while they have tried to work with you, they also know there is a mutual benefit for working together. So that is loyal and loyal to the business relationship, and will expect the ethical values to resolve ethical dilemmas. So that means ethical values, that means you also not only the low perspective, what is right and wrong, what is not what is right and wrong, but what is morally right and wrong. That means what is your mind says. Okay, some of the times the financial factors are not the influencing thing. Okay, but you should try to understand that some of the time you should satisfy your customers. So in that occasion you should go beyond your level, and you should provide some supportive role which makes the customer a happiness. That means they should feel some sort of happiness or some sort of comfortable zone, and from that which gives them to choose for the next time as well, right? Now, automation and the impacts. Top management plays the vital role in setting which should be automated and which parts of the operation should be performed by people. So in this business environment context, okay, people and organizations, most of the time, if you go for famous globally operating banks like HSBC or something like that, okay, most of the time they are automated, okay. Even if they have branches, their size of the branch is very limited, okay. And most of the time it is replaced with the humans are replaced with automated telemachines. It performs most of the financial service activities, maybe withdrawals, cash deposits, cash withdrawals, and other financial demands also. So it depends. It's like automated. That means the automated telemachines, ATMs, have replaced for financial supportive person. So automation and the impacts. Top management plays the vital role in setting which should be automated and which parts of the operation should be performed by people. Still, but the thing is, still everything is not performed by automated telemachine, because you want more convenient of service. So some of the things are automated, fast cash withdrawals, fast cash deposits, something like that. So it gives you more comfortable and more easy to perform by your own. If you have, once you perform, you will get the comfortable experience, and it's very easy and it will be very fast. But the thing is, it is not, everything is not automated. So still humans are also performing some of the tasks, which may give a certain satisfaction level for those customers who prefer to get the things from human beings, okay. So automation and the impacts. Top management plays the vital role in setting which should be automated and which parts of the operation should be performed by people. Automated telemachines may reduce the workload as well, with accurate set of objectives, but still subject to scam by hacks, online platforms, etc. But the thing is, even if you are there is online platform, everything, so that means you don't want to really go to bank, okay. Online you can transfer the funds, something like that, okay. There is a clear system, but the thing is, still there is disadvantages, like there are people who hack your password and they get into your access and they, okay, fraud. That means fraudulently they take your money. So that means it's still there is a risk. So how you are progressing with the information technology, it gives some certain advantages as well, it gives disadvantages as well, okay. Human resource can be categorized into skilled workforce and unskilled workforce, and some of the work require trained resource, whereas some of the tasks rarely require any prior skills prior to the start of the work. Professional expertise can be replaced by various accounting software solution, but the validation of the output is subject to the internal inputs as per the system design and can be outdated with the change in accounting policy and aspects. So say for example, now accounting also, there are packages which replace the need for an accountant, okay. The people, the management can have a reliable software, accounting software, and they can feed the data. That means they can feed the input data to the system, and all the reports they can run and they can get it from the system. So it may be very user friendly, but it performs majority of the management accounting tasks, okay. It may be a advantage, or it may be a threat, okay, whatever, okay. But so it gives advantage as well, disadvantages, so that is fine. And again, to train a doctor or to train a engineer, or accountant or something like that, it takes time. Okay, they understand, okay, what is the purpose of standards. That means every internationally, okay, international financial reporting standards, internationally there is an objective to, okay, to make to prepare your financial statements, and which is similar. That means a similar way of preparing your financial statements, so that anyone from the global context can compare the industry, different industry organizations financial statements, and they can understand the benefits over a particular organization over the next organization by financial performance. Okay, maybe by profit level or asset level, asset base or cash flow, something like that. Some of the organizations may be very good in generating profits, but may not be good at managing the cash flow, because every time they know to make, okay, uh, the profits out of every cash they have. Okay, they don't hold any this. Okay, they take risk, okay, insolvency risk, but still they are, if they are successful, that means very efficiently they are investing in several projects and they are making money. So that is profits. And base, asset base means financial position. That means the worthiness of the worth, net assets, okay, will increase. So the base, the value of the business will increase. Again, that may be a good thing, but some of the times the goodwill also, it's subject to management decision making or something like that. So it depends. And the cash flow management. Cash flow means when it demanded, the management should have the power. The company should have the power to make the payments. For when the payments may be any other investment opportunities or something like that. Okay. Right. So subject to internal inputs as per the system design. So human resource can be categorized into skilled workforce and unskilled workforce. And some of the work require trained resource, whereas some of the tasks rarely require any prior skills prior to the start of the work. Professional expertise can be replaced by various accounting software solution, but the validation of the output is subject to the internal inputs as per the system design and can be outdated with the change in accounting policy and aspects. If there is a change in accounting policy or aspects, standards or something, then the design, okay, but it is also now they are updating. That means every year, if you install that again, okay, with update, okay, the update will be there. So it's not a threat at all, but you should know how to manage. Okay, right. And necessity of expatriates for certain industries such as oil exploration and developing the market. Say for example, oil exploration company like Can Lanka Private Limited or Can India Limited, okay, and other international companies, expatriates, that means overseas consultants and overseas experts, okay, they may provide the expertise skills, because we doesn't have that time, okay, we doesn't have the knowledge and expertise on exploration, so we will have to get the help from them. So that means it depends on the industry's operation. Oil exploration, that means if it is new for your industry and for your country, then you will have to get the expertise skills from your known person. So it's people and organization. Okay, it depends on the industries as well. So necessity of expatriates for certain industries such as oil exploration and developing the market. Franchises and business values, authorization permits to carry out commercial operation or dealership. Toyota and franchise means McDonald's or something. So that means franchises and business values. Okay, that means authorization permits to carry out commercial operation, commercially viable. That means they give the permission to act as a dealer or to continue the business operation. McDonald's operation, dealership, Toyota. Okay, and thank you These topics, my advice is again, you enhance your knowledge on the relevant topic area before you are doing your assignment. And today's topic area is people and organizations. That means look at the size of the business operation. It can be a proprietor business or partnerships like audit firm, or maybe a bank, financial institution. They have certain financial reporting requirements, and they should be listed in stock markets. They are this thing, they are control level. That means various, if they should be, that means financial institutions, bank, okay. So they have legislative requirements, they have legislative powers as well. They will have to comply with their institutes and certain regulatory bodies. And so it's about, look at what we are talking about. So look about people and organization, if it is a bank, if it is a school, okay, bank, financial institution, okay, you how where your financial statements you can access about, okay, well, this one publicly available, but how frequently, and what is the that means when is the deadline to prepare, and when is the deadline to complete your audit, something like that, okay. And where it should be publicly available if you want the access to view on that. Sometimes they advertise banks and this one, but sometimes if you want to access about a particular bank's financial statements or something, yeah, you can, okay. And these are the things. So it's about school, okay. School means again, if it is a private or public school, okay, how, where you can get it. So something like that. People and organization, what are the, who is running the school, and what is the objective of running a school. If it is a private, okay, profit generating, and what kinds of courses they are providing, something like that. Public means governmental objective, okay, education primary objective, and employment, giving employment opportunities for degree holders as lecturers or something, as well to enhance the education for the children, as well to the community uninterrupted, and the local community to believe that education's needs of education and a healthy knowledge society. So something like that. So it depends on people and organizations. Think about the organization, maybe a bank, maybe a education institute, universities or something like that, or governmental organizations, NGOs or something. And what will be their reporting, okay, reporting structure, okay, what will be the top management, where is there is a middle level management, operational level management, something like that, or is it a project kind of projects or something like that. People and organization, how they are performing, how they are communicating. So people and organizations, how they are, and what will be the opportunities, are they limited to local or local opportunities, or are they performing, are they open to global context. That means if the labor is cheap, they can take the opportunity of recruiting from overseas, okay, if it is a something like that, okay. That means they will give some opportunities, okay. Most of the time they may give some they may have a visa system, and they may attract the overseas talented personnel, that means recruits, okay. So it depends on people and organizations, principles and practices in global context. Thank you very much. I am Sudarshan Radhadurai, an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountant. Thank you.